Since 2007, ASTRAX has been promoting a lunar land-based city construction project called ASTRAX Lunar City, and has published various international papers related to ASTRAX Lunar City. On the other hand, countries such as the United States, Russia, and China have built stay and learn research facilities that simulate a lunar or Mars base, where long-term stay, training and research are conducted, but such facilities do not exist in Japan at the present moment. Therefore, ASTRAX has been studying the possibility of building such a stay and learn type facility in Japan. At the IAC in Paris in 2022, we presented an outline of our plan to build such a lunar city simulation facility in Japan. In this paper, we will present the more concrete plan for the construction of the ASTRAX Lunar City Simulation Facility and its future plans. ASTRAX has merged the existing Private Space Business Development Education and Training Center and the Private Space Business Research and Development Center in Sakaimachi, Ibaraki Prefecture, and are building a new facility called ASTRAX Space Center, Private Space Business Creation Research and Development Education and Training Center, at a place called Heavy Duty Secret Base in Chiba Prefecture, Japan, from January 2023. There, many camping trailers are set up to serve as living spaces. ASTRAX has education and training simulators that simulate the interior of a commercial spacecraft, a zero-gravity aircraft education and training simulator, a commercial space mission support control center, and a civilian space station habitation training facility at its location. For more information, please refer to another paper. ASTRAX is also trying to build at this location the functionality of the ASTRAX Lunar City Simulation Facility, which is presented in this paper. The overall outline of this project was presented in a separate paper at last year's International Astronautical Conference, so please refer to that paper. In this paper, based on the experience of building and using the ASTRAX Space Center during the past year, we introduced the plan for the complex ASTRAX Lunar City Simulation Facility, which will also utilize those facilities. The current ASTRAX Space Center is located in the heavy-duty secret base, but if the entire ASTRAX Lunar City Simulation Facility is to be built, there is not enough space, so we are planning to expand it to the surrounding land and so on. ASTRAX plans to operate this facility so that anyone can experience it, but basically, it will be operated by ASTRAX Lunar City members, and members of the ASTRAX Lunar City business community will provide services to ASTRAX Lunar City Residence Club members. The goal is to operate with a stance of providing services to the members of the ASTRAX Lunar City Residence Club, and to make the club a place for research, development, education and training for the operation of an actual lunar city on the land of the moon. See separate paper for details. Therefore, rather than being a place for entertainment like a space experience attraction facility, the goal is to make it function practically as a place for education, training, research and development for the creation of new private space businesses, as well as a place for disaster prevention training, shelter life training, and experience. The activities during the stay are not for rest and leisure like camping or glamping facilities, but for learning about life on the moon and space life in the form of a stay and experience space learning program, following a programmed curriculum and plan, while at the same time serving as a disaster prevention training on Earth. The program will be open to the general public who are not experts in the field. Participants are not limited to adults or children, and anyone can participate, but we are planning to make it a basic requirement that participants be members of ASTRAX Lunar City. Anyone can participate if only for a short-term temporary experience. 3. Status of facility and equipment selection. ASTRAX is currently in the process of selecting the facilities and equipment needed to implement the plan outlined in Section 2. Some of which are described below. 3.1. Dome for common space. Among the pressurized stagnant areas in the ASTRAX Lunar City Simulation Facility, we plan to use the Easy Dome 550 Dome House, sold and supplied by TCL Corporation of Japan, as a dome that simulates a common space. We will then connect 4 of these domes to create a cooking and eating space, a work, living space, a food growing space, and a bath toilet, relaxation space. In order to conduct group living at a lunar base, it is important to have not only private rooms but also common spaces for sharing common infrastructure. 3.2. Dome for private room. Around the domes for the common space shown in 3.1, domes for private rooms using a small dome house, called Easy Dome House 300, will be placed for the number of guests. In the initial stage, 6 domes will be placed and connected to the common space by a pressurized passageway to provide a total of 6 private rooms for each person to stay. The facilities in each dome are envisioned to provide beds, desks, simple toilets, simple showers, simple kitchens, and other amenities that will basically allow each person to live independently. This is because the purpose is to secure private living space on the lunar city as well as for education and training for life on a small spacecraft. The purpose is to allow people to experience living in a small space like SpaceX's Crew Dragon in a private dome. Section 4 summarizes how efficiently these domes can be connected, including the 4 domes for shared space shown in 3.1. It is envisioned that the domes will be reconfigured to the appropriate way of connection, if necessary, while actually connecting and staying in, the domes. Then, we are considering operational policies on how to use the various facilities in the common space and private rooms, depending on the theme and purpose: space-based stay experience, the moon-based stay experience, Mars-based stay experience, evacuation shelter life experience on the ground, etc.
3.3. Power supply and hot water facilities. For power supply, solar panels and energy storage devices will be installed in each of the shared and private domes, and it is envisioned that power will be distributed and secured. The reason for this is to ensure that each person can use the power they use at their own risk, while keeping a close eye on their own power usage. This will not only enable them to acquire expertise in the use of limited power, but also to distribute power in a fair manner. If there is a shortage of power, we envision providing power from the ground power infrastructure, such as Tokyo Electric Power Company, for a fee, rather than from the shared space. As for how many solar panels and energy storage devices will be needed, we envision that we will install only what is truly necessary as we actually install the domes and equipment. The same applies to hot water supply, and we plan to install solar water heaters in each dome so that each will have access to water and hot water. 3.4. Toilet and bath facilities. Regarding bathroom and toilet facilities, one of the domes for shared space is planned to be used as a shared bathroom and toilet, but it is also envisioned that a simple toilet, space toilet, called space banking, will be installed in each private dome as well. It is envisioned that both practical and demonstration experiments will be conducted at the same time, with both newly developed experimental facilities envisioning toilets and showers for space use and existing toilets and showers for Earth use. For more information on the development of space toilet, space banking, and space showers, please refer to a separate paper by ASTRAX. 3.5. Kitchen and eating space. The kitchen and food and beverage space in the common space dome is where all participants cook and eat together. There will also be a simple kitchen in the private room dome to allow simple self-catering. On top of that, we plan to allow cooking and eating, drinking in the shared space as needed, so that participants can appropriately switch between team activities and private activities. Equipment to be installed in the kitchen and eating area of the common space will include an induction stove, cooking utensils, a refrigerator, and a table for cooking. Since none of these items have yet been developed for space use, i.e., adapted to an environment with different gravity, we plan to study their development at ASTRAX in the future. For the time being, existing equipment that we normally use on Earth will be installed and made available for use. 3.6. Beds. The beds will be installed only in each private dome, and we will consider whether to make them an optional bed exclusively for Easy Dome House 300 or to put in a different bed. 3.7. Communication equipment. The presence of the internet is very important in both shared and individual spaces. Therefore, Wi-Fi equipment will be installed to allow access from anywhere in the facility. Proposed installation configuration, layout. First, assuming that 6 people will be staying in the facility, we are considering the 5 proposed arrangements of the shared domes, 4 domes, and individual domes, 6 domes, and the method of combining them, as shown in figure. Here, we are only considering how to combine and arrange the domes, and have not yet considered the number and location of entrances. We will first consider the convenience and privacy of the guests while actually connecting and utilizing the domes to determine the appropriate placement of the domes. 5. Trial operation. Prior to implementing the plan outlined in Section 4, ASTRAX is renovating an existing camping trailer to build a stay and learn facility. In addition, those facilities are being used to test and operate the power supply system, solar water heating system, communications equipment, toilet, bath, and kitchen to be used in ASTRAX Lunar City Simulation Facility. 5.1. Testing with a houseboat or camping trailer. Life on the space station is very similar to life on the ground in a houseboat or camping trailer. Therefore, ASTRAX has gained experience staying in houseboats for several years in the past, and is currently conducting verification using camping trailers. Until the dome-shaped simulated lunar city facility shown in Section 4 is built, the verification will be conducted using camping trailers as well. 5.2. ASTRAX Space Center Infrastructure Facilities. The infrastructure facilities, toilets, buses, power supply, workshop, cars, water, gas, of the entire heavy-duty secret base where the ASTRAX Space Center is located are being used for verification as well. The ASTRAX Space Center will be used not only by scientists, researchers, and astronauts, but also by the general public as a facility where they can experience and train to live in space, on the Moon, and on Mars, etc. The functions will be improved and expanded while using the facility. 6. Future plans. In order to actually construct the ASTRAX Lunar City Simulation Facility, we plan to procure and construct a dome house for common space and private domes. At the same time, we need to install various facilities and equipment such as lighting fixtures, air conditioners, refrigerators, toilets, bathrooms, power equipment and water heater equipment. To do so, we will also need to secure a larger site than we currently have, as well as secure operators, users, and services. It is necessary to make it a real thing while providing various subsidies and self-investment. It is also important to use existing products, technologies, and services as much as possible to lower development costs and materialize them quickly. ASTRAX plans to shape the construction of the ASTRAX Lunar City Simulation Facility in Japan one by one with the cooperation of ASTRAX Lunar City members, business collaboration partners, and the world's moon-based simulation facilities and Mars-based simulation facilities. 7. Conclusion. In this paper, we have presented our plans for the construction of the ASTRAX Lunar City Simulation Facility in Japan. We hope to present further progress at the next International Astronautical Conference.